Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to discuss some forex pairs. We're going to use market profile, volume profile and a little bit of order flow to mark the important zones and how we could eventually use them to find good trading opportunities in the forthcoming week. Before we proceed ahead, the platform that I'm using here is Go Charting, and the first pair that we're going to discuss is XAU-USD, that is nothing but gold. Over here you see a market profile chart for 30 minutes that we generally have in any markets, and this has been divided into sessions. So the first thing you would like to know is how do we differentiate or how do we separate these profiles in accordance with every session that goes by. So you can see over here there's a settings tab over here. You can go, there's a method to go through the other side as well, so this is more convenient. So we're going from here, you go into the sessions tab over here, and you can choose what you want. So if you're, for example, trading CME, that is ES mini or something like that, you can choose that. We're choosing crypto and forex, and we simply apply sessions, so we get something like this. So I'll just go on and briefly describe what are the timings. The timings generally you would be aware of. You can search for them. The thing that I'm going to discuss is primarily the sessions where we have a lot of volume, and those are the sessions we need to pay more attention to. So in essence, when you look at a chart like this, the high moves or the high ranging moves are the ones that are generally having more volumes. So if we go to the volume profile chart here, so this is also for XAUSD, that is gold, and you can immediately see, I'll just get my marker on, and you will see these areas where there are high volume. So if you look at the time, they're generally the New York session and the Europe session, or the London session as we call them. Now these volumes are high when these two sessions are merging. So what I have here is set in accordance with the Indian Standard Time, that is IST. So if we look over here somewhere close to generally this time, the 1730 IST is when the 1730 1800, if I'm not wrong, is when the I'm sorry, the New York session starts, and just before that, somewhere close to 1230 is when the UK session starts. So you will have an idea, like the volumes start picking up from here, and then this is the area, or this is the time when both the sessions are open, the UK as well as the New York. So obviously the volumes are the highest at this point in time, and the moves that emanate from this high volume zones is generally they're going to be our datum line for forex. Okay, now this is not only the case for forex, it is true for every other instrument that we trade. All moves that are initiated from high volume areas or zones are generally to be kept in mind, because they provide you excellent trading opportunities in the future. So for example, I'll just tell you, like this is a high volume node, or you call it high volume zones, and it initiated I mean the pair, the gold went up in this direction. So the next time when it came down here, you saw a bit of a consolidation. Now this consolidation for a 15-minute chart doesn't look that much, but if you're scalping or you're looking for an intraday opportunity for a good, say 2 to 5 points, it does provide you opportunities, because the next time when the market comes here to this high volume node, you do get a quick scalp on the upside. Now these, why do I say they're so important? Because they give you a very good setup, which have a really high probability, and you would get a bounce of them. And if it fails, for example, in this case, like it fails after it has given some move and it fails, now this is the zone that you keep in mind and mark, and this is again at a good volume cluster that was formed, and this is the zone which you carry forward. So in short, I just wanted to explain why these high volume areas are of significance. We'll just discuss in detail how you can use them in the forex pair. So the first thing that we go is when we are analyzing a new pair or any instrument for that matter, the first thing we go at is we zoom out, or we go into, let's say, a weekly profile. So this is not a daily profile, but a session profile for every day. So for example, if I'm in India, my session starts somewhere close to this place and goes on. But in essence, the day is all these 4 sessions. So the UK session, the New York session, the Asia session, and the Tokyo session, and if I'm not wrong, there's a Sydney session also in there somewhere. Okay, so now let's go on and go a little wider. By wider I mean this is a weekly profile chart. Now what in Go charting, if you want to see a weekly profile chart, you just need to switch over to the 4-hourly time frame, and what you have in front of you is a weekly time frame. Now why is this chart important? It gives us a very good overview of what has been going on for the past a few weeks, a couple of months. So straight away when I'm looking at this chart, I see there is a sort of let's say a zone that has been forming. I'm sorry for that, let's make it again. So a zone that has been forming somewhere here. Okay, so the auctioning has been going on in this range for a lot of time. There's only one day when it goes above, it fails, and like in market profile we say, if it doesn't, it fails, the next I mean the destination trade is the next end of the balance zone that we have over here. Okay, so the state of imbalance is when it is moved up from a balance zone, something like this, and moved back and into another balance zone which is formed over here. Now the other one that is of great significance to us is when this was going on, it stayed for a very less duration of time and then popped up. So when you see these red bars over here, this is nothing but the POC that I have plotted from the market profile. Now a very I mean the good POCs that you generally carry forward, they're all as it is carried forward over here in Go charting until future intersection. So a good POC that I consider and I really mark them is this one. Why do I do that? We'll just change the heading from BPOC as well. So it is a I mean it is a virgin POC you can consider, because a lot of volume was over here, is because from these two places, okay, you got a good bounce, and it happened during the imbalance phase of the auctioning. Now when the imbalance is going on, there was some aggression from the buyers in this zone. So this is a zone that they're likely going to defend when the market tries to auction to this place. And again, as I just iterated a little time back, these can give you wonderful opportunities, short-term opportunities, and even sometimes on a bigger time frame they give you, I mean if you're a swing trader, they give you do provide you with opportunities like that. So we mark this and we just go to the settings over here, and all you need to do is I'm sorry for that, let's make it again, and this is the zone we said. Okay, so these two places we're going to mark both of them, although they will be plotted automatically. Why I'm doing this is because, as I just said, they provide us with some I mean insight when the market is next over there. We don't need to go back to the chart, we'll just say a potential support zone. Okay, and the color can be blue. Okay, so the next time we are ready, when the market is approaching this place, we are ready within our minds that if we are in a short, this is a place where we would like to cover, or if we want to initiate something on the other side, for example a reversal, we will look into it once the market is there, and we look into the action that goes on a smaller time frame. So this is with respect to the weekly profile that we have. Now we move into the daily profile. Now before we go into the daily profile, let's try and find some zones which are in confluence with market profile on the volume profile chart. So this is a 5-minute chart. Okay, I'm sorry, 15-minute chart. We'll just shift over to the 4-hourly chart, and when you do that, just remember that you need to go here and just increase the tick size, because there's a lot of data that is getting loaded. Okay, so the 4-hourly chart again plots the weekly volume profile, as is the case with the market profile. So we'll just increase the tick size over here, so that as I said, there's a lot of data that is loaded and it keeps forming. Now the next thing, we will step into the weekly volume profile, which is going to be quite similar to the market profile, because we plotted volume profile there as well. But that is not why we came here. Why we came here is for something else. Okay, now the first thing that we do here is we see clearly with price action where the move started, wherever there is a move in a particular direction. Why? As we just discussed in market profile, these are the areas which have caused imbalance in the shorter time frame, and these are areas that really provide you with great trading opportunities. So we'll use one of our favorite tools, that is the fixed range volume profile. We'll go from the low and we will go up till the point we see there was a good move in one direction. So we go to the object order and we send it to back, and what it does is it doesn't block your view. Now from here, what we do is we mark the low volume nodes. Obviously the high volume nodes are important, and they will generally be popping up in the daily profiles as well. So we're not going to mark the high volume nodes. What we're going to mark are the low volume nodes, where there has been aggression, which we see in the order flow charts we've discussed in the previous videos as well. So we're just going to mark these zones. Now you will see these zones are really powerful, in the sense even in the price action there will be places where they will form supports. So it makes our life really easy to find places by not even looking at price action, where we can generally find great trading opportunities. So I've just marked 3 of them, and because that is what is going to come in handy for us in the forthcoming week, that is. Okay, so now we know that these are the places where there was aggression, so we can expect some sort of a bounce when it's coming here. So you can see whenever you plot something like this, even on the even in the action that has gone past us. So this is a low volume node, and you see the first time it breaks, it has started acting as a resistance, this one. So we'll not mark that. If you want, you can, and you can name it a potential resistance zone, this one. And we'll just go to settings, we'll make it red, and so that you can get a good shorting opportunity once the market tests this for the first time. Okay, and we'll mark it potential resistance zone. Okay, and we leave it at that. Okay, so this is what we have done with the volume profile. Now the next thing we do is we come back even further, we go to 30 minutes and so on. So 30 minutes, what it'll do is it will give us I mean, the first thing we should do is, since we have marked the levels, we'll delete this profile. Okay, and we'll move ahead. Now when we go to 30 minutes, we will go even granular and see where we can find good trading opportunities. So this is one place, for example, from here we saw a good fall. Okay, and it's till Friday we've seen a good amount of fall. So you can see this is a zone that has popped up, which we drew from there. Now what we can do here is we can simply take this and move it down. Okay, because this is giving us a place. Let me delete this and make a new one. Okay, so this is an even finer version. So this is our place where we can expect some sort of a bounce when the market comes back up here. Now we're done with this, and we go ahead and delete this. So these are the zones that we have marked on a 30-minute chart volume profile. Now we will just go to the market profile, that is the daily market profile, and see what we have been seeing on the last day, that is the Friday. Okay, so the first thing we see is what we saw on the weekly profile as well. It is nearing the end of the balance zone that we marked, and it is also near to the potential support zones below. So there was likely to be a bounce off here, and what we are observing here is there was a single print in the on the I mean this I think is the session after the New York session, where we saw some sort of this is called a buying tail in market profile, some sort of buying stepping in. Now this is a weak low, as they call it. This is one day, but this is 3 different sessions. A weak low is nothing but where the price comes to a common reference point for the past few days and is testing it again and again. So it becomes in essence a little weaker reference, that is a reference that we need to carry forward. So the next time if we approach there, there's likely going to be there's no point in taking a trade to the long side from this place. So what we've seen here although is I'll just get my marker on, is a buying tail somewhere here. Now this when it came into the New York session was defended and has created a poor low as well. So we have a poor low followed and accompanied with a weak low. So this is this buying is not as convincing as of now. So we need to see what happens, but that is the idea that we get from the market profile chart as on date. And generally what happens is when you have a poor low like this forming and it stays for a little bit while, we do get a push back to the value area above. So this is what has happened over here. Now coming into the next session, if we for example on Monday start open somewhere here and we're not able to clear this volume profile node, high volume node, and we do end up coming back here and testing this poor low, so we likely on this day or the next day going to see a move downwards. Where do we see a move downwards to? We have already marked those zones on the weekly profile chart, so you can see them in 1920 and 1910, which is quite, I mean, we've also marked such zones on the volume profile chart. So we'll shift this back to 15 minutes, okay, and we'll switch on the volume profile as well for this, so we get the daily profiles. So we have those areas marked already on the this is one zone where we can expect a support which we drew from the profile charts, and the other ones we've already noted over here from the weekly profile and as well as the market profile. Now the other thing we do is we mark this zone as well, and this is our support zone that we have marked. Why? Because we saw a buying tail, and we'll see what happened during the day when the session opened. This is a single print zone that was left untested until this session, which started here, and it tested just the above part of it. So this is another place which we mark. It is about 1957 or so. So we can expect some sort of activity around these levels. We again have drawn similar levels over here. So the levels that we are talking about is this 1957, which is a volume POC from this session, if you see on the volume profile chart, and we saw a good downward move from here. The other one, that node that is going to be of great help to us, is this one, this volume node, from where we saw a steep downfall. So this is a zone again which we can find and look for trading opportunities in. Okay, so the last thing that we do in all this, in plotting our zones and looking for a trade, is confirming it with the order flow charts that I have here for the gold. So with order flow, the point is that we do not get true bid and ask from any exchange. Now the exchange is not centralized, as is the case with let's say NSE or the CME, where we get futures data which is true bid and ask, and we can really use these levels effectively. Nevertheless, these levels still hold great significance at places where there is significantly high volumes. So like we discussed a little time back, volumes will always give you a very, very good picture. So this is one zone from where a top was formed, and this is the 1957 zone that we were talking about. Now we're getting even more granular as and when we are shifting into the order flow and the footprint chart. So you see these imbalances forming. Okay, this is the node from where we saw a good fall. We drew it on the volume profile, so this is the same thing that we're getting on the footprint, and this is the level when we start getting interested. So we will just draw this as well using that chart, and this is the zone where we saw a good amount of sell imbalances forming, and eventually the market started moving down. And this is one zone which was a buy imbalance at one point on Friday. However, when the market broke down, it gave us a good sell imbalance. It was tested once and it has fallen. So this zone 1951 to 1957 is where we can expect good activity and get good trading opportunities. Similarly, on the downside, we drew 1937 or 1938 that I'm from the daily profile chart. Similar thing is over here. We see a sell imbalance which is taken up by buy imbalance. So on a order flow chart, this is a zone that we are interested in. Just a minute, let me draw it again. There you go. So I don't know why that is happening. Anyway, so this is the zone that we are interested in, and we can find great trading opportunities once we see the market auctioning back here. So the first thing that we need to observe is if it opens, and we just discussed, and we see it fall below this zone, that is 1943, we get a good trading opportunity, and most probably in all it's a very high probable trade that we can get is if it breaks this zone, it opens somewhere and it goes down. What we can expect is something like this. Just a minute. What we can expect is something like this that happens and tests this zone if it has to hold. This, as we remember, is a poor low and a weak low as well. So what we can see is something like this happening, and then a further downfall till the area which is not too far below down, which we saw on the weekly profile, which we just confirm again over here. Okay, so these are the zones, that is 1920, 1910. So we can expect a move till that point if we stay below this part. Okay, as we just discussed in the footprint charts. Now the last pair that I'm going to discuss is Euro USD. We're not going to go too deep like we went with the gold, but I'll just give you an overview. So this is the daily profile, and this is the weekly profile. Over here as well you can see what it has been in balance for a lot of time. So if we just draw the balance zone over here as well, so we see something which has been the balance zones that have been happening for the last some sessions are these ones. These are two different ones. It's trying to enter here, so if it does succeed, I'll just take these out again. So these two balance zones, hopefully you could get them. So if it does succeed in taking out this volume node, it is the second time it is forming again over here. If it does succeed in I mean, if you see some price action like this coming up and going down, this is the end we target. Okay, this is the end, that is 1.05 to 1.055. so this is one zone that we target. We can get a move till here, and let's also see this in the profile chart that we have here. So we'll just shift it to 4 hours, and we'll mark our zones. Okay, they've already been marked. So this is 1.060 that we just discussed, and the next volume node is somewhere here. Okay, we'll just shift it a little bit lower so we can we can go even down further. Okay, let's see, let's go back to 4 hours. So there's a lot of data that is there. So the zone that comes for us is somewhere here. Okay, and this one that we spoke about, this volume node. Okay, so this is in confluence with what we've just seen on the profile charts and the if you go in and see the footprint charts that we spoke about in the gold, you'll see a lot of confluence happening over there. And the next one that you can mark over here is somewhere in this zone. So these are your I mean, your potential support zones, which you can find good trading opportunities from. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to also look into some resistance zones in this one, like we did on the other chart. So we will go into the hourly time frame now, and why I want to do this is from this move down we do have the opportunity of getting some good shorting opportunities as well. So in case the market starts auctioning above let's say I'll just show it to you. So let's just shift it back and send back. Okay, so if the market starts auctioning above this POC, that is 1.08, so you can expect some pullback up to this level. So the resistance zones that you can mark here and can be of great help to you are the ones we're just marking them. So we'll just say potential resistance zones, and we'll make them red. Okay, so this is the one, and we keep doing that to find good trading opportunities in the forthcoming week. So these are the zones which you can keep in mind, and you can get great scalping opportunities. And this one will mark, and that is it. Okay, and now we shift back to the 5-minute chart, and we delete this profile, we don't need it anymore, and the zones are marked. Okay, and similarly you can go ahead and switch on your volume profile back so that you get your daily profiles as well. Now I had shifted the most important part is when you're doing something like this, you need to keep shifting your tick size, because on a 4-hourly chart 50 is too less. I mean 4-hourly 50 is is appropriate, but on a 5-minute chart 50 is too much. So we'll shift it to 10 that I have on over here, and it gives me a fair value. So you can go ahead and try all the permutations, combinations. So if you see closely, the resistance zone that we marked here is in confluence with the high volume node or the VPOC. That is you can say it is still virgin. The last time it tested over here, we saw a good fall here. So what we have seen is, in essence over here, is that from this volume node we saw a good fall here, it did test here and it has gone down again. But the interesting part to note is it has not broken the low, I mean quite convincingly, even further down. So this gives me I mean, in the short term it gives me a feeling that there is not too much of selling strength as of now. Okay, so on the upside, this is the node that I look into. So if the market opens somewhere here and it goes down, I see a good positive action taking place, I would prefer taking a long right over here. The next one is this volume, low volume node, where I can expect some kind of activity or a bounce on the upside. And this is high volume node is of significance that can be carried forward, because we saw a good steep bounce from here, a V-type recovery. So obviously there is a presence of buyers over there. Okay, and hopefully this video was of some help to you guys. We'll continue making such videos on forex pairs as well. Until next time, bye bye.